Louisiana Second Amendment sales tax holiday is this weekend. And with the uptick in weapons sales and hunting gear, Mallory West shows you how to keep your family safe. Mallory?
Jennifer, according to everytownresearch.org, on average, at least one gun is stolen from a car every 9 minutes in the United States. And that stolen gun will likely be used in a crime. West Monroe Police Department says that they have recovered 13 stolen guns this year and expect to find more. Captain C.J. Beck with the West Monroe Police Department says most guns are stolen through unlocked vehicles.
Probably the number one problem that we have is people leaving their firearms in their vehicles, even at night. And if you're going to have a concealed carry, it's probably best to try to find a place to actually conceal carry it, not just put it inside your car. You can forget about it. If you have children, they might get into wherever you put it.
Captain Beck believes that securing your weapon should always be a priority. Otherwise, it opens the door for violent offenders to take it.
We can't help some burglaries and things that happen if items are stolen, but a lot of times they're stolen because they're accessible. So either unlocked vehicle or they break in the vehicle. They shouldn't be left in the vehicle anyway. If they get into a house, it should be locked up in the safe. Unless you're using it for personal protection, but then you have to find a way to secure it or at least so someone won't get a hold of it not supposed to.
He also added knowing gun safety is important to ensure you know how to safely handle your weapon and keep you and those around you safe.
If I do this and I forget that I do that, I'm loaded. Sometimes that's what accidents happen because then they think they're handling an unloaded firearm. But really,
there's the bullet in there.
There we go. And you can see that it's not loaded.
Captain Beck also highly recommends anyone who owns weapons or who plans on buying them this weekend during the Louisiana Second Amendment sales tax holiday also know the laws on where those weapons are allowed to be carried. Back to you.